Alright, hello, and welcome back. Hello there, Knight. How's it going? That way, let's see. There we go. Oh, hello, Neon. How's it going? Alright, let's see. Oh yeah, this is where I left off. I left off on the Cockatoo quest line. Oh, there you go. I hope you enjoy your art trade there. I'm doing pretty good. I'm a bit tired, but I got this terrible coffee. But whatever, caffeine is caffeine. Ah yes, from A to Zreek, a guide to a well-behaved cockatoo. A sulfur-crested cockatoo sits on the cover, its beak slightly open. It looks as if the bird is calling out the book title, From A to Zreek, a guide to a well-behaved cockatoo. Flip through the pages. It turns out that there are so many different cockatoo species, and they all have behavioral problems. What about this guide to cockatoos, storekeeper?
It's a must-have if you own a cockatoo. I've heard they're quite capricious.
Let's see. $3.99. Want to buy it or interfacing? I can, I can steal it. I think I might just save some money and steal it, so I can buy some more healing later. 72%. No, slowly you move your hand towards the Tome of Cockatoos before you reach the book. You're interrupted.
We really need to do this.
Yes, I need to save my $4, Kim. No. That could be 4 healing items. You wait for the storekeeper to be distracted. When she's not looking, you haul the Tome of Cockatoos into your pocket. It's quite a challenge, but eventually the guide to cockatoos is yours. Splendid effort. Okay, there, I think I have all of the books in the store now. So I'll read them once the night is over. And when time stops at 2 a.m. and you can just kind of do whatever. But a lot of stuff isn't available. Like, most of the NPCs are asleep. But you can still read books and stuff. I have to talk to... let me look at my tasks again. You have to talk to Kuno about the empty trap. Okay, okay, these are all tied to the working class husband and the cockatoo are part of the same quest, kinda. Get the... okay, I can't do that. That one is impossible, because it's gone. Turn back the wheels of time. I had to wait for that thought to be completed. The nightclub. Ask about Ruby in the village. Investigate where the shot might have come from. And... okay, you can't do that one either.
Fuck does Kuno care?
You wouldn't happen to know anything about any missing locusts?
No, Kuno doesn't give a fuck about books.
Oh my god, I told you that shit is lame!
Shut up, see.
Now they're gonna take you to lame prison!
Empathy. She sounds like she's about to cry out of disappointment at Kuno's newfound lameness. What's this about? Now, hold on, no one is lame here. Just tell me what happened. You kids are in trouble.
Deny everything, Kuno. You need to lawyer up.
Kuno's not gonna say anything without his lawyer present.
Reaction speed. There's definitely something going on here. Remember his pig's head shack? You should check it out.
Kuno doesn't fucking care.
It's crawling with locusts in here. Hearing. All around you, the hisses and chirps of locusts fill the musky air. The earthen floor of the shack has been shaped into mounds of mud, dotted with little holes for windows. Conceptualization. Like skyscrapers, spires of dirt and sand rising. Accommodations for their insectoid inhabitants.
Well, detective, it appears you've solved the case.
The lieutenant looks at you, writes something in his notebook, and turns to you.
Of the locusts. For the missing locust case, which is a sub-case of the imaginary insect case. So at least that's going well.
Yes, precisely what I was thinking.
Yes. I feel we are nearing a real breakthrough.
You think the Insulindian phasmid is nearby?
If anything, the presence of the locust points to the opposite. The phasmid did not take the bait from the traps. It was Kuno. The phasmid doesn't exist. But what do I know?
We should talk to Kuno about this. Get him to stop.
I'll let you handle the Kuno side of things. You are doing just fine.
Fuck does Kuno care?
I know you took the locust from the traps the cryptozoologist set up.
Yeah. Kuno took the bugs. So what?
Inland Empire. So it wasn't the phasmid. A wave of disappointment washes over you. I was really hoping it would be the reed phasmid that ate the locust, not you, Kuno. You say you don't give a fuck about bugs, then you go and build a whole bug town. Why steal locusts? Couldn't you, find some other pets?
Yeah, well, Kuno's all you got, bitch.
Bug town?
It's not Bugtown. It's the city of locusts. Locusts aren't just bug shit. They come out of the sky like a fucking shadow. Shit descends.
Stop!
She wails from behind the fence, then buries her face in her hands.
You stop. It's like their fucking night. Locust City, Night City, City of Rage.
Conceptualization. There's a tug of war over the name of his fantastical city. It's almost too big for his imagination. The girl forces herself to watch again, the corners of her eyes twitching from discomfort. Pain threshold. The lameness is causing her physical pain. The damage may be permanent. City of Rage sounds like a cool place. What are you, some kind of artist now?
Kuno, the pig wants to help you. Oh, that's how lame it is. Please just don't say you're...
An artist? Maybe I am an artist. You hear that, everyone? I'm a fucking artist now.
Dies of cringe. That's great, Kuno. It's cool to make art. You should listen to your friend, Kuno. Art's lame as hell. Oh, no.
Oh my god, Kuno! He's gonna make you totally lame in, like, 3 seconds. Don't let him, Kuno.
Yo, fuck you, see? Kuno can be what Kuno wants to be. Kuno's his own man. Kuno's free.
He tears at the buttons of his shirt, trying to rip them open. They don't give way.
Kuno made himself into Kuno. Kuno can make himself into anything. Kuno can make himself into a pig if he wants. Kuno can make himself into a... Kuno doesn't give a shit.
Don't make yourself into a pig, Kuno. You'll have to take me away.
A leaden silence fills the yard. Hearing. In it, you hear snow melting and dripping from the eaves, as someone closing a window. Suggestion. So that's what this is about. That depends on the choice you make, young girl. Me and Kuno have discussed this. I promised I won't do that.
I don't believe you.
She disappears entirely behind the fence. For once, the boy is lost for words. He's turned completely red now, with splotches of white beginning to appear across his face. I need you to stop taking locusts from the traps. The cryptozoologists are trying to find something very important. Those locusts are bait. I have to ask, what does the city of locusts mean? What's going to happen to the locusts? Nods toward the shack.
I don't give a shit. I don't need the locusts anyway. Shit is all lame now. C was right.
What does the city of locusts mean?
It don't mean anything. It's shit. Kuno just likes to focus. Kuno likes to concentrate on shit. Build shit when he's zipping hard. Fuck.
He turns his burning face up to the falling snow.
Pig, you really shouldn't have fucked with Kuno City. Now it's all fucking lame.
What's gonna happen to the locusts?
Kuno's gonna let the fucking locusts die.
Okay, now that that's settled, I'd better be
The
off.
fuck are they trying to catch anyway? With the traps?
The Insulindian Phasmid. He mutters to himself. Rhetoric. He recognizes the name. Wait, you know what the Insulindian Phasmid is?
Bitches think Kuno doesn't know shit. The fuck out of here. Kuno's tired of this shit.
I just think Kuno doesn't know shit. Empathy. There's silence between the two children. They're not saying anything to each other, nor looking in each other's direction. Let's see. How long till this thought thing is done? This is hour and 15. Okay, it's a while. Let's see. What can I do in the meantime? Oh, I should go to the pawn shop and sell my garbage. For some money and then stock up on a lot of healing and stuff, because it's going to be a while till... Because when the store closes, it's going to be a long time until it reopens. I have a lot to do in between that. Oh yeah, I forget, what did... I think the speakers don't do anything, they're just for selling, but let me look up real quick if they're tied to some quest line or something that I want. Let's see. Can be sold at the pawn shop, can be used to repair the speakers in your room, and oh, you can use it to repair them in the whirling, but I think I'd rather just sell them. Alright, what do I want to get rid of here? I can get rid of all the ties, because I'm going to keep the horrific necktie. Actually, no. No, I'm going to need that later, actually. I'm going to need some... Well, I'll need one of them later. Let's see. Which one is the best one? 2 drama... Shivers, no, I don't want that. Oh, no, I want that. Okay, so sell the other 2.
Hello, hello. Sure, let me have a look.
I have a fascinating photo of a corpse. No, I want to keep that. Let's see, I'd like to sell my clothes. Check my pockets, access the
Anything
pawn
else
menu.
you're thinking of selling?
Here, the speakers, $30. Cool. Okay, let me get rid of the The postcards. Don't need those. I might need that for something later.
I'm not purchasing any more clothing at the moment.
Oh yeah,
And
that's right.
certainly
No,
not
that's, yeah.
expensive armor that's liable to bring mercenaries to my doorstep. And especially that tie. It swallows photons around it. I have no need for necrotic objects.
Your mother is a necrotic object! I'm fun! Look at me sparking in the light of the projector!
Are you sure you don't want to buy some armor? Oh, that's right. He doesn't take.
Another time, perhaps.
I always forget. In this one, you can't sell the clothes. I forgot about that. Because he gets, because it shows you the option to, but then he's like, no. I think I had that problem the last time. I'm confusing it with another game. Alright, let's see. Oh, well, I got the $30 from the speakers. And the postcards. Alright, let's go buy some. Stock up on... I have $71. Let's see, how much healing do I have anyway? Oh yeah, I picked up all this... Oh yeah, the books. Let's see, I'll read those later. I have so many. That's gonna take a while. Oh, I have 2 bullets. Cool. Oh, so it doesn't say exactly how many healings I have. It just says 9+. I'll just make sure that I'm all stocked up here.
Okay, here. I hope Saint Baptiste makes you feel better or something. Okay, here. I hope Saint Baptiste Okay, here. I hope Saint Baptiste makes you feel better or something. Okay, here. I hope Saint Baptiste makes you feel better or something.
One more. Yeah,
Okay,
one more of each,
here.
just to be sure.
Okay, here.
And I don't
hope
think I'll
Saint
need any for, like, the rest of the game, probably. Okay, I can fast travel to the, back to the coast and talk to the, the guy at the Feld building. Oh, I can... Nah, I'll do that later. The phone. Because I don't know if this guy goes away at nighttime. I think I need Savoir. Savoir-faire. Oh, -1? No. If I remember right. Or I might need that later. Let's see. I'll just take some speed later once the check comes up.
And Mikhail noticed the windows, especially with how there are no windows on the south side. This was to deal with.
A blond man stands next to his son, pointing to the weather-worn ruins. He sees you approaching and smiles.
You officers, come to investigate the historic subtext of West Martinez? I'm Tran Hailostam. You must be Kim Kitsuragi, right? I was just telling my son about this building. Not a lot of people realize the historic significance here. Very rich in hypertext.
Nice to meet you.
The lieutenant nods. Hold on, hypertext.
Yes, hypertext. Young Carp and the collection of cultural hyperlinks.
Half-Light. He's just making up fancy words. This doesn't mean anything. Wait, what was that about the windows before?
Oh yes, so Mikhail. They had to deal with monitor glare, especially in the summer. They still had vector monitors back then. That was 49 years ago. So they didn't have windows on the south wall.
You and Kim know each other?
No, I can't say that we've met before, but I've heard of Kim, of course. Mikhail, say hi to the officers.
The child stays behind him, the hem of the father's coat, clutching to his worm-themed coloring book.
Mikhail's a little tired today. We spent all night trying to run Orbis on his radio computer. Have you heard of it? It's a programming language used in Grad. Quite tricky, but he wanted to play this Grad-made adventure program. We've been getting really into worms lately. But I assume you're not here for giant worms when there are so many real things to see. Just as I was telling Mikhail before, this is where the Coalition landed in '08. We could be standing on what is the most interesting landmark in Revachol West.
He points to the building again. Esprit de corps. This man is your half-brother. You feel it, but why? I'm looking for a suspect. Have you seen anyone suspicious around?
No, I'm afraid I can't help you with this one, officer. It's just a regular day off for me and Mikhail here.
So you haven't seen anyone around?
No, I'm sorry. As I said, this is just a day off. We just arrived anyway.
Empathy. There's something friendly and familiar in how he says that. A day off. What's so fascinating about an empty old building?
Aha! But it's not just any empty old building.
He raises his eyes, springtime sun warming his handsome face. All four of you turn to admire the mural before you.
What not a lot of people know is, this used to be the R&D department of Felt Electrical. And Felt, which now sells ink cartridges mostly, was once a top dog in the turn-of-the-century cybernetics boom.
Encyclopedia failure. Hold on, what's R&D? Look at the building looming over you. It looks old and weathered, with seagulls picking apart its stone and metal carcass. A bushy undergrowth has taken hold of the collapsed rooftop. Some kind of bird has set up a nest on a broken windowsill. Wait, what's an R&D department?
Apologies, it's an acronym for research and development. They don't use it anymore.
He smiles brightly, laugh lines around his eyes.
You're probably more familiar with RTD, Research and Technological Development.
Encyclopedia. Mea culpa. You were not familiar with that one either. This man is a bookhead. I don't think I've ever heard of this Feld Electrical.
That's not surprising. Only a vestigial ink cartridge and ferrotape manufacturer remains.
He adjusts his suit jacket.
They started out as a midway electronics outfit in Königstein 2 centuries ago. After an aggressive move to Revachol, Feld became a global player in the emerging personal electronics market of the pre-revolutionary era. Still, Tricentennial was beating them in business machines. But Feld had an ace up their sleeve, or should I say they were developing an ace up their sleeve? I'm mixing my metaphors here.
What was that ace?
It was here in Martinez, possibly in this very building, that they developed prototypes for a tape computer.
A tape computer?
Mm-hmm. An elegant folding mechanism of rollers and ferrotape ribbons, portable enough to be a take-it-home solution. Revolutionizing business machines, possibly even bring them to the average consumer. Which is a feat of engineering even today's giants, Rehm, ICN and ZAM, haven't achieved yet.
He grins, admiring the sentence he just produced. What happened?
Indeed. What?
The revolution!
The boy wipes his nose on his sleeve.
Unfortunately, their moonshot project never made it to the market. Feld's move to Revachol backfired. The revolutionary government liquefied their assets and expropriated those very advanced prototypes. Possibly from this very building, or one of the adjacent ruins.
He pauses, pointing to the other building, then continues.
All of this was built by Feld, even the boardwalk. Wild Pines built Martinez proper as a resort for their middle management. Feld built this side of town for R&D.
You're saying that Feld Electrical built this boardwalk? Look under your feet.
Yes, they even built a pleasure wheel, but that got destroyed in the war.
A pleasure wheel?
The lieutenant looks wistfully at the horizon, as if picturing gondolas rising to the sky. Empathy, perhaps reminding of a childhood memory. It's clear he would prefer there were a big wheel lighting up the coast.
Yes, to lure in their star engineers. This part of Martinez was nothing but reeds before Feld arrived. They had to make the prospect of living here attractive. It was supposed to become a global center for innovation in cybernetics. But history had other plans.
You're saying the Feld Electrical... what happened to the engineers, the company people?
Oh, I'm afraid it didn't end well for the boys. But this story is a bit too dark for little Mikhail here. Now, if you were to ask about tape computers...
What did the revolutionaries do with those advanced tape computers?
They used them for military communications, but also to write and send out press releases, the most notorious example being Le Décret de Mars.
What was that?
What's the Mars Decree? I mean the radio transmission sent out to news agencies and world governments by the newly created Commune of Revachol on the 7th of March in the year 02. It's a beautiful piece of text, actually. A singer-songwriter I know, Charette, called it a love poem to Revachol on her political concept album, Bon Baiser dans le Lind. You should read it. Every local library in Revachol stocks a copy of the decree. I tried to get Mikhail to memorize it. Tried to. Someone was much too interested in worms to be paying any attention.
Sight. And the kid takes a peek at the green and silver worm on the cover of the book, already forgetting about this part of the discussion. How did those tape computers work? Did they work like radio computers?
Actually, no one knows. No one even knows what a computer made entirely of tape would look like. But word has it, they were very elegant, exquisite, alien-looking turn-of-the-century hardware.
He raises his finger, remembering something.
10 years ago, I did a little freelancing, I guess you could say. I was a special consultant for an exhibition at the Wompty Dumpty Dum Center in Vredefort, Oranje. It raised the same questions, and we had lengthy discussions with Paul Ockerman, who was head curator at the time. This was before the twins Keith and Guy Juice joined the team, trying to...
Oh no, not the Wompty Dumpty Dum Center. Is it gonna give me the thought about it? Reaction speed. Wait, did he just say Wompty Dumpty Dum Center? Suggestion. He did. He did it. He said Wompty Dumpty Dum Center, like it's the most natural thing in the world. Encyclopedia. What the hell is a Wompty Dumpty Dum Center? And who the hell are Keith and Guy Juiced? Physical instrument. This is all a ninsy-pinsy garbage for sissy people. Okay, the Wompty Dumpty Dum Center, Paul Ackerman, Keith and Guy Juiced. What are you talking about?
The Wompty Dumpty Dum Center for Contemporary Arts. The exhibition itself drew on Lagerman's notion of memory, and so there were some parallels. That's why the head curator, Paul Ackerman, chose to...
This is me when I try to explain some, like, insane political thing, and I have to bring up, like, 100 different, like, obscure-ass politicians that are just absolute freaks, and then I have to explain, like, their insane backstory. You're making this up. Turn to the lieutenant. Kim, is he making this up? Come on, there's no place called the Wompty Dumpty Dom Center of Arts.
In fact, I'm not. The Wompty Dumpty Dom Center is a place you can visit if you're ever in Vredefort and are ever in the market for an exhibition space / contemporary art research center.
He clears his throat.
But perhaps I should return to the tape computers. As I was saying, the device itself was very elegant, fragile even. One could write directly on the tape using a special chemical solution. The machine would then analyze the handwriting, perform operations, and project output onto a white screen. It was a beautiful, delicate thing.
Hold on, I think he gave me that. I forget what it even gives. I'll look up what it gives me here. Yeah, the Wompty Dumpty Dom Center. -1 suggestion, outsider. It's Wednesday evening, and something heinously exciting is underway. And people have gathered beneath the billowing roof of an oddly shaped trophy building. Sipping wine and exchanging opinions, 29-year-old Wonder Twins Guy and Keith Joost are the stars of the show. With their bomber jackets and white sneakers, head curators of this art exhibition. It's the Wompty Dumpty Domest event of the year, and all the cool kids have RSVP'd. Where are you, if you are not there? Oh, let me look up what... Oh, it only takes 42 minutes, but what does it give me? Is it worth trading something else? Let's see, it gives me... Completion -2 suggestion, pretentious wanker. Encyclopedia passes gives 10 plus 10 XP and 2 real. Okay, no, I don't want that. Let's see, conceptualization. A made of black film and folding tape structures. Not cool. But I have cooler things than that. The RCM should get some of those.
Even one would be very useful. Though I understand the socio-economic causes of the revolution, it pains me to imagine the revolutionaries setting fire to the precious device. But so they did. The Feld playback experiment vanished into the fires of '07.
Wait, the Feld playback experiment? Why did the revolutionaries destroy it?
Yes, the official name of the prototype. Some sources report it as the Feld playback experience, but those are incorrect.
Why'd they destroy
Who
it?
knows? Maybe it was an accident, or maybe they didn't want the technology to end up in the wrong hands. Either way, they're all gone now. All 3 versions of the prototype. Nothing but debris and ashes remain inside that building.
He takes a step back. The boardwalk creaks mournfully in the wind. Talk about
But of
something else.
course, what else?
I want to hear about the film building again. Okay. Wait, does he have
Sure.
anything else to say?
What's on your mind? But of course, what else?
You look like someone who has money. Do you have any money?
I do have some money, yes, but that's not what's really important here.
Could I have some money that's unimportant money then? I don't want your money. I just wanted to see whether my profiling skills were working. Give me your money.
Oh no, I don't have it on me, officer. I was
Please.
talking in more general terms.
I need more speed.
I'm just spending time with my kid here, showing him around the lesser-known parts of our hometown. It wouldn't be wise to carry huge amounts of cash on such expeditions.
Let's see. Physical instrument. Not that he would have to worry about being robbed. He looks surprisingly buff. Does he work out? By the way, do you work out?
I do some Lomantang stick fighting
Here's
now
the-
and then.
Here's the closeted part of the character. Where's of the role play? Wait, what's Lo Manthong stick fighting?
It's an anthropological heritage of the Lomantang people. A martial art of sorts, but what not a lot of books mention is that it also carries a cultural significance among the Lamantangs, as it used to be the best means of showing off to look for a bride, which, interestingly enough, brings us to the socio-economic structure of the traditional and rural tribes of the Lomantang Isles, which...
He goes on to give you a detailed overview of their way of life, the amiable, slightly nervous smile not once leaving his face.
But anyway, I'm boring you with details again. You were saying...
I don't really remember what I was saying. I'm not really interested in the practice. I just wanted to know how often you work out. Now and then. That's what, like, once a week?
Lomantang stick fighting is a little like a Berolidin addiction. I've been practicing it for nearly 20 years now, so you could say that my doses have grown a little peculiar.
Electrochemistry. Wait, what does this man know about Pyrrolidin addiction? Hold on, Pyrrolidin addiction. What's it? What an interesting metaphor. Study his face. Or perhaps not a metaphor at all.
You got me, detective. But my history should hardly come as a surprise.
He chuckles softly as shadow takes hold of his face.
Dad's fighting with sticks every night after dinner for 4 hours. He has a special room for that and a special costume.
That's right, Mikhail. It also has a meditative quality. Helps to clear my head. But anyway.
Great, thank you for all the interesting information.
No, thanks to you for having me and little Mikhail here to pick your brain. A very interesting conversation indeed.
I forgot to go back and talk to the zoologist. Yeah, Kuno has promised us I'll report your findings to the cryptozoologist.
Hello, officer. I think I almost have it. A new trap design, that is. I know you're skeptical, but I have a good feeling about this.
I had a chat with this kid Kuno. He promised to stop stealing the locusts.
So it was just a child.
He purses his lips, crestfallen.
Thank you for telling us, sweetie. This is good news, right? It means we can try again.
Yeah, you're right. We just need to restock the empty trap. Then we'll need to inspect the traps one more time. And then maybe we can.
The aging cryptozoologist breaks into a hideous coughing fit.
Darling, I told you to take it easy. You're getting sick. Maybe it's time to go home.
You're right, you're right. We can come back next season, when it's warmer.
Man, I'm really feeling this is costing me time on my main investigation. It's not worth risking your health. You should call it a day and go home. Refuse. I'd offer to help, but I have my own things to do. Damn it, maybe I can still restock the traps for you. Except, we've come too far to quit. I'm gonna restock the traps. Let's do this. Accept enthusiastically.
We are getting really carried away with this, aren't we? Fine, it's better than having these people get pneumonia on the coast. But after this...
Really? It's too much, officer.
He starts coughing again.
What Morel means is we're grateful for your help.
She nods to her husband.
Here's a fresh batch of locusts. They should slide right down the funnel. And thank you again. We will definitely mention you, should this lead to a discovery. I'm not talking co-discovery, of course, but,
Electrochemistry. Wow, co-discovery. You'd be famous. You'd show them all. This does tingle the pleasure center. I'll get going. Let's see, do you have
hello,
anything else?
sweetie.
No. Let's see, you have one. I should probably save 2 points in case I have to put another thought thing in the cabinet so I can... Because it takes a point to remove one and then another point to put one in. I'll spend this point on... What do I want? Let's see, that's 4, 4, 5, 4. Oh, well, those are 7? Endurance? Maybe an endurance. Sure. Let's see, box with locusts. The cardboard box with several rows of little holes in the lid. Though, at first glance, the box seems perfectly ordinary. Upon closer examination, it's obvious that the box has been prepared with great care. Let's see. Find the Insulindian Phasmid. You volunteer to restock the empty trap for the cryptozoologist. They even gave you a fresh box of locusts. This could measure around, probably lead to a discovery. Restock the trap you left empty before. The trick is to remember which one it was. I think that's the one at their camp. Let's see, release the locusts into the empty trap. Let's see, the locusts, days from being transported, slowly begin to acclimate to their new surroundings. Composure. They're not really going to get the chance to get comfortable here.
Good. Now that's done. When do you think we will return to our impending apocalypse of a murder investigation? Don't answer that. It was a rhetorical question.
Alright, let's see. Man, how long does this thing still have? Another 38 minutes. Okay, what can I do for 38 minutes here? I guess I could try to get into the Feld building. So I think I could just leave once I unlock the door. Let's see, oh yeah, the mural. Field mural. You see a once bright mural towering above you. The signage has peeled off over the years, but you can still make out Feld Electrical R&D. Site. A slogan used to intertwine with the loops a long time ago. And now only a shadow of peeled letters remains. It says, tomorrow is just a whisper away. Tomorrow's just a whisper away.
Looks like tomorrow never came.
The lieutenant raises the collar of his bomber jacket. Turn away. Oh, that was it. Wait, how do I... Oh yeah, I think I have to interact with the door? Wait, how do I get in here? I forget. Oh, I have to ask the I still have to talk to the washerwoman, that's right. About where Ruby might have gone, and I think she tells me about the Feld building basement.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with?
Why is there a bullet under the floorboards of your shack?
Damn that girl.
She murmurs softly.
Bullet?
The lieutenant turns to you and gives you a little nod, then turns to the washerwoman.
You didn't put it there, did you? She did.
Gone and hid things in there? She's usually a good tenant, and not a stupid one either.
You rented the room to her? Oh, it's an unvoiced line. Yes. Yes, I let the room to that Ruby girl. She speaks slowly, wringing out a rag. After a long silence, her hands move into the water bucket as some water sloshes over the edge.
As I've done before when she's been in trouble or just looking for solitude. I've made it clear. We welcome all kinds of people here.
When was this?
She came last Friday, left on Monday in a hurry. What has she gotten herself into, that girl?
That's for the police to find out. Right then, please answer each question to the best of your ability. I'm sure we have a few.
You said that she left on Monday.
Yes, early with the dogs, around 8 o'clock, I think.
Is the room exactly as she left it?
I cleaned it, like I always do.
Was there anything else there?
No.
What is she like, Ruby?
She's good company. Knows how to talk to an old woman. At my age, you don't get a lot of quality conversation. So I really appreciate that about her.
Did she talk to you much during her last stay?
No, she was mostly silent this time. Kept to herself.
What do you mean?
She tried not to let it show, but I could tell she hadn't come to fish. Usually she likes to cast a few lines, but this time she mostly stayed in her room.
Why do you think she left a bullet there?
How would I know? She's a gruff one, but not violent. She doesn't go around toting a gun.
She looks back towards the shack, thinking. Inland Empire. You could ask her about your hunch, that it was a desperate measure. See if she thinks Ruby fits the bill. I have a possible explanation in my mind.
Aye. Do tell.
A seagull flies overhead, obviously a bad omen. It's an exit plan.
Exit from what?
Her life, the world. This. Spread your hands. The lieutenant stops, writing for a moment. He looks at you, then at the old woman.
No, she's a fighter.
She tilts her head to the side, looking up at you, deep in thought. Physical instrument. Not a quitter. Like you sometimes get, son. Did she have any technical equipment with her, like, radio stuff?
Not that I know of, though she was into nice music. She once showed me a few mixtape milieux she'd made.
She brushes her hand. Water drips to the ground.
Although I guess she was pretty handy with the mechanical and technical stuff. Even fixed the heater in the shack. You should be thankful for that.
Savoir-faire, as she may simply have kept the equipment elsewhere. Where'd she go? Move on?
I don't know. Further up the coast. She tried to leave quietly, but the hinges on that door screeched like a cat in heat. Woke me up. I heard her rushing in those heavy boots, heading up north.
Visual calculus. It's a peninsula. She, might be trapped.
You'll never find her, you know. She knows the coast like the back of her hand. You only just arrived.
I wouldn't worry about that, ma'am. We are persistent.
Further up the coast we go, then. But that place is huge. She's a needle in a haystack. Wipe your brow. Man, I was really hoping she'd be hiding in this village. Are you sure she didn't go somewhere more pleasant and less wet?
Yes, it's going to be too much work for you to find her. Better for you to stay here, get a nice cozy fire going in the heater.
Inland Empire. The felled electric mural. You feel like you should go look at it again. Step closer this time.
One thing, officer. If you do find her, please go easy on her.
She looks around. The air is getting colder. Empathy. She really means it. It's an honest plea.
She's a good girl. Whatever she's gotten herself mixed up in.
Oh, I didn't try. Well, I'll talk to the drunks later. Let's see. Might as well do this now. Oh my god, this thing is still not done yet. You'd think it. Oh, it's 24 minutes. Okay. Well, might as well go back to the. Back to the film building. I think this is where I'm gonna need the the speed. Oh, actually, do I have something better than... No, I'll just +1. Okay, yeah, speed it is. Yeah! Oh no, I did it.
Smoking fentanyl, lay cereal milk. I see God.
And let's see, sight. The slogan used to intertwine... Okay, I read that. Step closer. Above the mural, a collapsed roof. Broken windows, set-in walls that are cracking and will soon also fall. And the coastal breeze rustling and sighing in the remains of the edifice. Inland Empire. There's something in the wind. Sometimes the only way to go forward is to fail first. Could Ruby be in there?
In there? She could. Or she could be in the identical room over there. Or in that boat shack. In that church tower, maybe.
Let's see, shivers. Very low 3%. Listen to the wind. +3. Found the empty trap. +1. Confronted the pigs. I'm gonna do all the drugs. Shivers. Suddenly, it's all quiet. There's no cold hand brushing against your forehead. No rustle in the reeds. The wind has died down, or gone behind the corner. You only hear distant waves washing the coast. Hearing, the ruin in front of you is silent as a tomb. What was I even attempting to do here? Turn to the lieutenant. She could be anywhere. How do we find her? That's... trying to talk to the wind? The city? Whatever you thought would happen did not. And now you're just standing there with your hands fallen to your sides. Inland Empire. A prayer of sorts to Revachol. She could be anywhere.
Or do we? I was really hoping she'd be in the village. Okay. She's probably north of the village, and this place is a peninsula. We already scanned most of the outdoor areas on our wild cryptid hunt, so we have an understanding of the geography, at least. And then there's the church. We've already searched that and can rule it out. I know it doesn't feel like progress, but exclusion is a step too. Anyway, we do it the old-fashioned way, sector by sector. Go over the whole peninsula, ask the locals, enter the places where we can enter first, like we did in the village.
Okay, and if that fails, and if we don't find her?
Then, if we're desperate, we can look where we can't enter. Bunkers, storm drainage, this place. I'm sure it won't come to that.
Shivers. Walk the coast, the old boardwalk, the reeds. You can always come back here and talk to the wind again. Look where it already got you. Savoir-faire. An adventure awaits. An adventure on the wind-swept urban coast. Endurance. Buckle up and raise your collar. This search is going to be wet and cold. Oh, I need another. A level in Shivers. You know, I might as well. Let's just do it now. Let's see. Point in Shivers. Oh, it's only a 4, actually. Okay, well, sure. Because I already snorted the speed. I might as well. It's only 8%, but... No. I could put on the... What do you call it? The... Okay, maybe I should put on the clothes that give me the points and Shivers to make it a little bit higher. Where's the... Okay, don't... Oh no, is there anything that gives me volition? Because the last time I took off my volition clothes, I died. Okay, don't take off the chest piece. Okay, I think that's it. Just don't take off the chest. Okay, there's a... 1 Shivers. Or the tie. Oh yeah, no, don't take off the tie. Okay, I guess that's as good as it's gonna get. Let's see. Okay, 17% now. No. We'll get this. Finally. Shiver. Suddenly, there's a sigh, carried on the molecules around you, moving, flowing, from high pressure to low pressure, like that of a woman emptying her lungs. She wraps the collapsing stone box in front of you in her breath, flowing through it. Where does it go? Through the collapsed roof, flowing down a concrete staircase to the basement, sweeping away footprints in the dust on the stairs, and then the beach below the boardwalk. Its winding tunnels a whisper away. What's happening? Oh yeah, it's the... Ah, dang it. Ah, dang it. That is basically just all this game is. It's just dice rolls. She's down there. Say, I think she's down there. below this building.
Okay. Why?
The wind told me. We've looked everywhere else. Ever since I woke up, maybe even before, I've been getting these strange cold spells.
Good, good. Yes. Cold spells. So basically your hangover is telling you she's down there?
Yes, I can literally talk to my hangover. That's how bad it's gotten. The wind told me. Call it a gut feeling.
Right. How do we get in, though? The doors were on the collapsed side of this building. They're gone, basically.
Savoir-faire. Finally, my time to shine. There's a ladder next to the sign. Point to it. Perhaps we can climb to enter the roof.
Perhaps you can climb them. We are not climbing anything. I'm 43 years old, and I plan to live to see 70.
A physical instrument. There has to be a way to use brute force. Climbing sounds unsafe. Brute force is safe. Look around and find something to break if the ladder fails. Hey, let me switch my... I don't need the shivers anymore. Where's my... Back to that. Do I have a better hat or glasses? Let's see. I don't think I need the glasses. That's just visual calculus. Yeah, I don't want that. Oh, actually. Oh, there we go. I got this. That gives me savoir-faire. Everything else should be good. A rusty ladder leads to the rooftop. Some of the rungs are missing.
Yeah, that doesn't look good at all.
Yeah, that doesn't look good at all. Assess the situation. The distances between the remaining rungs are rather wide. You'd have to use the mounting brackets. However, they seem corroded and the peeling rust is razor sharp. In addition, the first rung is going to be tough to reach. It's what, 3 meters above the ground? And you're 180? 180 seems about right. 190. I'm a giant. Okay, but still, the roof is collapsing and the wind gets pretty brutal up there. Dismounting from the ladder is going to be hard. Perhaps if you were to not climb the ladder instead. Savoir-faire. What if you were to do something more subtle? Conceptualization. What if you were to reconceptualize climbing the ladder? Inland Empire. Astral projection. Be open-minded about this. Pain threshold. Yeah, because falling from that height seems, well, splat. So don't do that. Just, you know. What if I don't climb? What if I just teleport?
Teleportation is not a thing.
The lieutenant stares at you, stone-faced. Come on, Kim, where's your adventurous spirit? Teleportation is a thing. It just needs a bit of concentration.
Okay, let's say teleportation is a thing. Wouldn't you need some kind of scientific apparatus to create a teleportation field? You can't just do it without apparatus.
What are they talking about?
We're scaring the children. The kid behind you whispers, asking his father.
Teleportation, Mikhail. It's generally thought impossible.
It won't hurt to try.
Oh yes, it could hurt. A lot.
Teleport to the roof, 97%, +2 Santiago climbing, +1 remote viewers bonus. All you need to do is close your eyes and concentrate. Darkness enfolds you. You can feel the distance between the bench and the first rung of the ladder. All you need to do is do it. Zoot, zap, pow, crinkle. It's like magic. You feel yourself disappear, your atoms fading out of existence.
Oh my god, I can't believe it.
Bam! You find yourself on the roof, having mastered the art of physical displacement. I did it, Kim! I teleported!
I just saw you climb the ladder. You just climbed it like a regular person.
No, not like a regular person, like a phase spider. Hearing, the wind at the top of the building starts howling loudly, blowing away the lieutenant's voice. Faintly you hear,
Never mind. Find a way to let me in when you get inside. Don't go adventuring with a backup, especially if we think the suspect may be hiding here.
We did it. We teleported to the rooftop. The central support beam has been destroyed by artillery fire. Oh. The stones fall. It's a long way down. The glass is covered with grime and dust. You can barely see out. A postcard. Postcard Martinez 98. A faded picture postcard from the end of the last century shows Martinez as it was before the Revolution. It's the height of the summer. Rue de Saint-Ghislain is teeming with parasol-wielding bourgeoisie, and wild pines flags buttress the walkway. Nothing is written on the back. You should take out your flashlight. Oh yeah, that's right. They collapse and nearly sealed the basement. One can barely squeeze by. Antiquated office furniture, last century maybe. Brought down and forgotten so long ago. The overturned table is covered in orange mildew, crawling with something. Door, two rusty metal plates that slide apart from a crude door. It's been here under the boardwalk for a while. Who's there?
What do you mean, who's there? It's me, Kim. Stop playing around and help me get the door open.
Push the door open. Ignore the door, leave. Does he say anything
Officer,
about just...
Are you okay in there?
Esprit de corps. You really ought to open this door. It's dangerous to go ahead alone. Okay, let's... Open the door. The doors seem to be on rails, and they've gotten jammed. You grab a side and put some strength into prying it open. With the help of your partner, the two metal panels slide open with a creak.
Huh. I hope no one dangerous heard that.
How did you even get there?
After you climbed up to the roof, you mean? There's a maintenance entrance under the boardwalk. It's next to a drain pipe, possibly a storm drain. It was easy to miss before.
Empathy. He's quite proud of himself. I could have saved me the effort. Maintenance entrance, so pedestrian. At least now we know a quick way in and out.
Yes, we have an exit, so let's get going.
Well, then I wouldn't have
Time
been able to
investigate these
teleport in here.
passages.
Old file folders in the cart. Documents silvery with mold. A series of thick, dusty panes of glass. Insulary suit jacket. +1 suggestion. Dressed for the occasion. A muted brown suit jacket perfect for a day at the office or an evening at a cafe. The red rose on the bottom of the left breast pocket is slowly wilting. In the beam of the flashlight, a crevice in the wall. Stale fabric, smell, and dust. No one has slept here in months, maybe years. These pots and plates are full of dust and spiderwebs. No, the spooters, no. Revolutionary propaganda in the bunk bed, ancient flyers and brochures. The revolutionary's hat. +1 to the Mazovian socioeconomics, a friendly neighborhood communard, an Ushanka hat with the Mazovian logo, a pair of deer antlers in its silvery white front. Your ears feel cuddled and cared for by the state. Kraz Mazov portrait. A mustachioed and mutton-chopped man, amateurishly depicted. Gazes at you with sad eyes. A plaque reads, K. Mazov. There's a spider web in the lower left corner of the portrait. Brush the dust off the portrait. It's Kraz Mazov, the idol of murdering traitors. Oh my.
Some radical or radicals were hiding out here. They left a long time ago.
A long time ago? How long? What's with all these secret weapons and caches in the bunker?
Half a century? This was probably part of the network of defense posts the communards built against the amphibious landing.
He looks around.
I think the purpose of this bunker was to produce propaganda. It would have had radio equipment back then, but that's all been looted.
What's with all those secret weapon caches and bunkers?
We have found a lot of those lately. I guess what most people think of as history tends to linger in rundown neighborhoods. Martinez being what it is, no one has gone through the trouble of cleaning out the old bunkers.
Savoir-faire. A good hiding place for someone who's up to no good. Maybe I should move in here. Seems cozy.
I won't stand in your way, but only after we're through with this case.
Could it be connected to the Mazov bust we found in the students' room?
Millions of depictions of Mazov have been produced. They're not all connected. Besides, that looked like some student. The youths always go for this kind of stuff.
Could someone have stopped through here recently?
You mean like Ruby? No, I think we've stumbled on a piece of history.
Oh, there we go. Okay, this is
Jamais vu. Derealization. Jamais vu. The opposite of déjà vu. Not already seen, but never seen. Everything that should be familiar appears strange and new, like some half-forgotten day in your childhood. Only now. That's the feeling you've been having. And for who knows how long. You should go and ask Joyce Messier about this. What world are we in? This is a fundamental question.
Okay, now that that's done, I can do the fascist vision quest. Where's the... Oh, let me out. How do I get out of here? Okay. Let me through. Okay. come on, Kim, we're gonna talk about semen retention. Oh, shivers. Winter. Slow to let a go of Revachol. Flecks some more wet snow from above. Look around you. The snow falls lazily, making the beach sand paler still, mixing with the rust-colored sewage runoff. What? Oh, you're about to see. And to think, it seemed as though it was already spring. How does it feel? The melting snow seeps through your thin clothes. Grandmothers don't let their grandchildren out dressed so lightly in this weather. At least your hair is protected from getting wet and sticking together. You look around. What's in the west? More winding coastline lined with abandoned buildings, crumbling piers, salt water lapped at their dark piles, gray and red, forgotten city blocks. What remains of the pre-revolutionary effort to gentrify the coast. And beyond that, the waters turn black. Coal City in the shadow of St. Martin. A boom town. Back when coal extracted from countless shafts near the city was needed to power Revachol. No more. The coal was supplanted by petroleum from the ocean floor and hydropower from the Esperance. Everything crumbled. These days, only the weakest remain in Coal City. Their hopes of getting rich linger in the defunct shafts under their feet. What is there? Below the old mines, Les Ossières Municipales, Revachol's underground cemetery, Les Petites Rats, brave the underground passageways, trying to get to Les Royamieux. I'm so bad at French. Les Petites Rats. Children under 14, they go underground looking for artifacts to sell to foreign museums and for fabled relics. Their parents let them. They go deeper. Deeper? After rubies, Melquirite, lapis lazuli plundered from Safri and Seoul during the time of the suzerain. In the burial chambers of the kings, Grand Old Philip, Guillaume II, and even the mausoleum of Philip the Opulent. 2 kilometers underground, in a winding shaft along whose walls mirrors have been placed so that daylight may eternally fall upon the richest of all the kings. The museum contains untold quantities of gold, and that special purest of pure magenta cocaine flavored by Revacholian royalty. There's electrochemistry. Did someone say untold quantities of cocaine? Drop everything immediately and go look for this hoard. Deep. Oh no, it's wipe the snow from your shoulders. A few petites rats return from the shafts, and even fewer find what they're looking for. A small child steps out of a black tunnel with silver trinkets in her pockets. All around her, white snow on the extinguished coke furnaces, and on the weather-worn shacks, where fathers beat their sons after drinking. The snow melts on your fingers, turning to water. And in the east, the canal you cross to get here, and beyond it, Martinez proper. The district the police forgot to police. There is laughter, lights, attempts at entrepreneurial activity, cynicism. Someone is scraping snow off their windshield at the roundabout, in the midst of which a statue of Philippe III serves as a destination for grad school field trips and a fine perch for winter birds. That's all? Like all monuments, it's also a warning. 6-story ruins in the south side of the roundabout cast a long shadow over the profligate king. And further, a fenced-off yard. There's a truck belonging to a logistics company parked next to the gate. Bringing light from the building behind the fence reflects off its hood. Conceptualization. Clean, white light coming from the windows of a clean, cube-shaped office building hidden amidst ruins. A secret? What's in the north? The abandoned church, its walls covered with hoarfrost snow. One of Les Sept Sœurs and other 6 sisters. The other 6 sisters were destroyed during the Revolution. And further north? A serpentine strip of land weaving its way into the Martinez Inlet. Unfortunates on the run. From the law, from themselves. Sometimes hide out on nearby islets. Little dots on the ocean that are occasionally submerged when the tide is high and the weather foul. And on the islets? The remains of a camp on a jagged piece of rock, a tent, old dishes and cutlery, long since abandoned. A hermit crab scuttles among the debris, looking for a new shell. Further out, the lights burn bright on Resurrection, away beyond Martinez, a popular spa destination for ample-bodied Ozone kids with equally ample pockets. And on the other side of the inlet. And then there's Ozone. But the snow falls too thick, you cannot see that far. Before the curtains draw. The Bay of Revachol, vastness, great depth, over 1,200 meters at its deepest. Water, air, brinier than here. It is crisscrossed by huge cargo ships bearing company logos, Wild Pines, Zam, Morian. And at the farthest reaches of the Bay of Revachol, the shadow of Coalition warship Archer, a perpetual patrol duty. Ready to unleash artillery fire if you were to rise up against the market, you shudder. And what's in the south? The raised motorway 881, separating Martinez from Jamrock. Vehicles whoosh past one another day and night, while those who reside in the labyrinth alleyways beneath the motorway attempt to carry on with their lives in the snow and the slush. The south of the 881 is the Pox. The Pox? Was once a park, a place for reflection and recuperation for the patients of the old military hospital. In the 20s, it was used as a quarantine center during a measles outbreak that killed many children. Most everyone has avoided the hospital and surrounding park ever since. The Pox is completely wild now, evergreen thickets, covered in snow and industrial dust. Feral dogs and even wolves roaming in packs. The police try to keep the deepest corners cordoned off, but still. Heavy drug users do slip through and hole up in the old military hospital, hoping to find something to get high on among the hastily abandoned supplies, or just overdose in peace. Further south, a line of motor garages with armored carapaces, hunched in the cold, a mechanic is hard at work, patching up bullet holes in the side of a Caprice 40. These are the garages of Precinct 41. Snow settles on the roof of the repurposed silk mill that serves as your station. Shivering RMC personnel hurry in and out of the main entrance. Around you, the snow continues to fall. To the west, the ocean swells. No, it was home. I want more. The stairs descend to Central Jamrock. A man named Kuklov has a snow-covered stall there, in the market across the bridge. He sells kebab infested with fly larvae to your colleagues who believe eating it will make them immune to food poisoning. As snow falls to the utility district, the library, the florist, the Semarizarian restaurant, and offers homemade wine. And also on the brothels and drug dens, and the chop shops, and the Zemlaki. All of this building around a lake that formed in a meteorite strike. At the center of this lake, there is a little ship. There are lights at the bottom of its hull. They are lights directed towards the seafloor, looking for something, like whiskers. For what? A chill comes over you, crawling down your back. The sand under your feet is wet. Somewhere in the south, tarpaulin flaps in the wind. Where is Ruby? Near. Snow falls into dark water. She prays though she doesn't believe. There is a hum in the air. That's all. What's below me? Layer upon layer of sand, poisoned with industrial runoff. The storm drainage, hidden bunkers, rat scuttle. Tell me a secret of the sands, wind. Someone stuffed a big old polar anorak in the concrete pipe under the boardwalk. It would keep you warm. You will probably never happen across it, but who knows. Stomp your feet for warmth. Brush off the snow.
We should keep moving. Who knows when the snow will let up.
Oh, I think it broke the camera. Well, okay, I think it's back to normal. Let me take off the flashlight.
The unpromising race pupil returns.
Turn back time. Does he have anything
to
new?
comprehend time, you must possess at least a basic understanding of how
Hey, I
reality
did the thing.
works.
Oh, hold on. Maybe I have to go back to Joyce. Let me go to Joyce first. Okay, that didn't work. I thought I had to finish the derealization thought or whatever it was, but I might need to talk to Joyce. I don't know, I never did this quest before. And if that doesn't work, I don't know what to do. I'll have to look up what I need to do for that.
I'll just keep the Corda Lacey in the channel, if that's okay. It's too shallow near the pier.
Aye, ma'am. And it's a jetty, by the way.
Of course. Jetty. I prefer a good jetty to a pier any day. Jetty.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello, detectives.
As she fastens the end of the line around the post and straightens her back.
It's good to see you here. I only just arrived myself.
What brings you here, madame?
Nothing, really. I've had my eye on this jetty for weeks now, so I decided to investigate it personally. This cluster of buildings isn't on any of the official maps, as far as I can tell.
So, how do you like it? Like it here? Look around.
How do I like it?
Let's see, she casts her gaze down to the village. Slush melting on the cinder blocks. Construction work left half finished 10 years ago. Hearing. Water drips down eaves of eternite. The jetty below her feet creaks to the tune. Smell. The smell of salt and dog shit in the background.
It's pornographically poor. The street has no name, all the men are dead or missing. And is that the carcass of a motor carriage over there?
She squints her eyes.
I'm surprised that woman hasn't put me to the sword yet. Maybe she will. You should ask your questions while you can.
Let's see. Dark eyes survey the coast leading up to Martinez. Dull gray metal rests on her scabbard, a sword. The wind is too loud for her to hear.
Fortunately for you, madame, the RCM is on the scene.
Let's see. You're right to be scared. This is all your fault. You're in no danger, Whisper. The working class have no idea what's happening to them. She's a woman. She doesn't know how to use a sword. Try not to be scared. This is just how the real city looks. This place is doomed either way.
So am I. And I do know how to use one.
Shivers. Above you, there forms a quilt of altocumulus clouds, twisting into each other. The wind tugs and stretches them over the bay. Their cloud shadows slide over the ruins of Revachol West. Wherever they pass, the temperature drops slightly, but perceptibly.
Have I told you how they discovered this place?
The wind picks up. Her raincoat flaps in the gust. This fishing village? This island?
No, they're in Sealindian, Isola.
What is in Isola exactly?
I'm guessing you don't know then.
No. You haven't told me how they found it.
Well, your condition has left you no worse off than most of these people. The literacy rate is around 45% west of the river. 50 years of occupation have left these people in an oblivion of poverty.
Oblivion. That's so me. 45% is around where I operate. Things are getting better, though.
I knew you would sympathize. Most Revacholians will never know what this place means. Our home. This island of matter. Or why they were ferried over in the first place. Remind me to tell you one day. For now, how can I assist you in this new location?
She corrects the scarf around her neck. Tell me now. We have time. Tell me something else then. Tell me now.
Do we?
He glances at his watch. It doesn't look like he does.
I hear you have singled out a suspect and are in pursuit. This is cause for cautious optimism. I would not want to delay you.
Inland Empire. This story, she will tell only before she leaves Martinez at the very end of her stay.
Maybe there is something else I can assist you with while you're hot in pursuit.
Questions about
More lessons
reality.
in basic reality.
Oh, here we go. This is probably
My favorite part of the day. Go ahead, ask
yeah,
me
I still
anything.
need to get through all of this.
Glad to have
Alright,
been of
let's see. Hold on,
assistance. The little that I know.
let me make a save here.
You're back. Good.
Alright, tell me
What
about
more
reality.
lessons in
What
basic
is this?
reality?
Esprit de corps, 58%.
My favorite part of the day. Go ahead, ask me anything.
Actually, maybe I should tell her about my badge first.
Glad to
Hold
have been
on,
of
let's see.
assistance.
Show her your
The little
badge.
that
I found
I
my
know.
badge, by the way.
By love, you did.
As she inspects the piece of blue plastic, her eyes scanning from left to right. Composure, fast, observantly, like an electronic printer.
Pleased to meet you, Lieutenant W. Freighter Dubois. I am glad to see a man of high qualification. The situation is precarious. What can I help you with, Lieutenant Freighter?
Okay, let's see.
More
got
lessons in
questions.
basic reality?
I didn't increase it.
My
Alright,
favorite
let's see.
part of the day. Go ahead, ask me anything.
You should do this one. It's 90. Oh, okay, let's see. Yeah, another
Glad
save.
to have been of
Just so I don't have
assistance.
to, like, go through the other dialogue thing again.
You're back. Good. More lessons in
Alright,
basic
58%.
reality? My
What
favorite part of the
is...
day.
Think of something
Go
close to
ahead,
you.
ask me anything.
58%. Plus one RCM can access ICP database. No, not the insane clown posse database. Plus one RCM decomptage known. Plus one RCM uses unjacketed ammo. Plus one RCM Kim debrief done. Oh, it's a good thing I made the save.
You're back. Good. More lessons in basic reality?
There. Esprit de Corps, 6 kilometers southwest in the Valley of Dogs. Junior Officer Chad Tilbrook takes aim at a rabid black dog licking its wounds in the grass. To his left, his partner Emile Mullins whispers, "You heard what happened to Tequila Sunset in Martinez?" Yes, he lost his mind. Tilbrook answers, fingers on the trigger. Don't worry, Emily. He pulls on it slowly. Slowly now. He'll find it again. We always do. What am I?
You? You're an officer of the RCM.
As she says energetically, the Revachol Citizens Militia?
Preciso mundo.
Good, and what is the Revachol Citizens Militia?
Nothing more nor less than the de facto law enforcement body of post-revolutionary Revachol, Detective.
Yes, we are the Revachol Citizens Militia.
Are we? You said de facto?
We are.
Yes, that means not de jure. The RCM acts in what is poetically called the twilight of international law, both at the behest of the coalition government and to its chagrin.
What do you mean? That's it for the... Who am I, pardon?
The RCM's responsibilities are defined by the Emergency, Wayfarer and Aliments Acts, 3 pieces of legislation keeping the city in a, let's be honest, laissez-faire stasis to the benefit of foreign capital.
All 3 are good to know when we are out policing.
So I'm basically a lackey of capital. So I'm basically a thrall to foreign interests. So I'm basically one of the good guys. So I'm basically going to avoid this subject and ask the next question in the line of inquiry.
There's nothing basic about your role, Detective. It's true that the RCM keeps everything the way our seemingly permanent provisional rulers like it.
As she leans in.
Yet, on the other hand, I know these people. I deal with them daily. Let me tell you, dear, they are not fans of you.
Why?
The post-revolutionary decade was a disaster for the coalition government. Revachol in the 20s was hell, especially on the west side of the river. Gang warfare, a botched privatization scheme, a nuclear pile meltdown. They called it the International Zone because no nation wanted to claim responsibility. The RCM restored peace where the coalition failed. A true blue citizens' initiative. They will never forgive you.
That's somewhat of an exaggeration. In reality, ours is a mutually beneficial arrangement. Ravacholians get to keep the peace in Ravachol, and the coalition doesn't have to worry about it. Anyway, sorry to intrude. Please continue.
Yes, Lieutenant. Permit me to conclude with this. Who you are, to me, is the police. The only legitimate law enforcement authority in Revachol.
Thank you, ma'am. Say nothing. Back to those basic terms of reality. Thanks.
And if those authorities drink so hard they need help recalling the basic terms of reality, well, I'm here to help.
Is there
Nothing more
anything
nor
here?
less than the de facto law enforcement body of post-revolutionary Revachol.
Yes.
Okay, no, it's the
Yes.
same thing. Hold on.
That means not. Permit
Message
me
for
to.
that part
And if
there.
those authorities
Alright.
drink so hard they need help recalling the basic terms of reality.
Okay, seriously, I want to
Well,
know what you
I'm
are.
here to.
She hums. Volition. As she won't maneuver her way out of this one. Stop dodging. What are you?
I am the vilest of the vile. A traitor. A devourer of nations and infants.
She says with a sudden flash of teeth.
I am an ultra.
Half-light. It's sharp. Wait, what's an ultra? Dios mío, draw across a liberal.
Yes. I am the nether creature of the Forbidden Swamp. I pushed the king under a shit wagon and betrayed the revolution. My kind surrendered the nation to financial colonists.
It's it's extra funny, but this is not. It's not like a liberal in the American sense of the word. It means she would be more like a libertarian in American terms.
I can see you thought we'd gone extinct. After all, no sane person identifies as an ultra-liberal anymore. Not in broad daylight. You've got Revachol in your blood. A real nationalist. No? Tell me, now that I've uncoiled myself, are you repulsed?
Yes. Disgusting libertarian. Empathy. In her green eyes, you see a mixture of truth and self-satire, decades of guilt and pride. Suggestion. Forgive her. Electrochemistry, but only because you like pearlescent teeth and those light green eyes. You're a monster. I forgive you. I forgive you, but only because you're charming. I don't care.
A devil. Who
Dios
of great
mío.
charm and
A
guile
liberal.
sneaketh into the
It's one of my
homes the
favorite
godly.
lines in the game. Electrochemistry. Beneath her waterproof raincoat and silk shirt is a body imbibed in Num 12 perfume. You're suddenly and intimately aware of it. Vile Dunil. Shake your head slowly. Nod. Devil woman. Wanna fuck?
Steal, kill, and destroy. That they say we've been doing for over 4 decades now. Perhaps regrettably. I've had my fill for this century.
Check out this Riz. Please! Please, I'll do anything! Please! I'll give you my money!
The lieutenant hums, reading his notes.
In any case, I'm glad we can remain collegial despite my scaly bulk. And my perverse need to infiltrate and betray both kingdom and revolution. When the dust settled, The Liberals were the only ones left to clean up the mess. By virtue of their survival, they were handed enormous power to shape the future. This was all our last generation managed.
She turns her gaze to the Delta. Would you have done something differently?
With due respect to our overlords, the eternal caretaker government that keeps Martinez a monument to the efficacy of its artillery.
Kim also just ignored me. It's like, just ignore the alcoholic cop. Shivers, while a gentle wind sweeps the streets of the rebuilt east, light drizzle washing it clean. Lights go up and motor carriages circulate the tracks.
I would not have relinquished sovereignty to the Coalition. Not here in Martinez, and not in the Stella Maris or Delta Beachheads either. If not for my own sake, then for my daughters. We had an obligation to defend our sovereignty. We should have burned the whole Isla down rather than let them have it.
Inland Empire, dark orange flames reflect in her green eyes, an oil fire on the ocean. You're a smart woman. You're a patriot? You have daughters?
Yes, I suppose I am. But I wouldn't be a patriot anywhere but here.
Seditious talk, ma'am.
Smart woman.
Perhaps. My intellectual vanity will be my undoing.
Her earrings chime as she nods. You have daughters?
Yes. Whatever else I am, I'm also a mother. And a wife. Now, shall we return to reality?
Okay, what is this? Spread your hands. Let's
Glad to have been of assistance. You're back. Good. More lessons in basic reality.
What is this?
A bird? A sphenicid? A flightless bird of the polar regions?
Keep guessing. Am I really that awkward? I meant, what is this place here? Keep guessing.
Some sort of krill hunter? No, wait. You're an ancient ruin. A symbol of hubris and decay. Half submerged in some salty sea.
Are you saying I'm ruined?
Of course you're not, my dear. I'm just terrible at guessing games.
I mean, what is this place here?
This place is an unmarked micro-settlement on the coast of Martinez.
As she gestures towards a collection of cinder block dwellings, covered by a highly carcinogenic roofing material.
It's lovely, really. I'm thinking of buying it.
Really?
Actually, yes. The thought did cross my mind when Mademoiselle Lillian over there told me about the fresh produce these women sell to restaurants on the Delta.
You both turn to consider the young woman, as she's hunched over a net, methodically picking out ribbons of plastic.
This place could use a competent manager. There's so much to be done. But then I'll never get round to it, will I?
Empathy. There's a great regret in her voice. For all the countless things she never had time to do with her money.
Doubtless I'll be off someplace keeping social classes from each other's throats. Let's go back to the basics of reality, shall we?
Alright, what is reach for something fundamental? 97% plus 12. Jamais vous thought complete plus 2 Dolores Day. Conceptualization. What is all of this? The scent, the sound, the air. What world is this?
What world? The only one, I suppose. The world of matter. And its pale antipode.
Inland Empire. The camera of her mind glides over the surface of the water. What do you see?
Great bodies of water. Forest-covered surfaces. Clusters of light where the cities lie. You've seen the montage. We all have. This world is enough.
She concludes, shivers. A frizzen lifts the hair on the back of your arm. A wind sweeps the surface of the bay. The wind is sweeping the waters. The world is a suzerainty of Revachol.
There is a term of endearment they coined for it in the DeLorean century, when humanity was high on this world, discovering more and more of it, these archipelagos included.
What is it?
Elysium.
Elysium? The world needs a term of endearment.
It does. There are those who would call it hell.
What is hell?
A term of hatred that originates, like many such things, with the Mesk petro-fascists.
Let's see, I don't feel like I've got the whole picture yet.
Oh, you want a picture of the world? There is no complete set yet, dear. They're having some trouble reaching orbit.
How come?
Great things are difficult to achieve. For now, we're viewing the world from the inside, sideways.
Inside sideways? What shape is this world
We
then?
used to think it was a sphere, but that is beginning to look less and less likely by the day. You wouldn't know it from the tabloids, but the ORG nations have been launching weather balloons into the lower ionosphere since the 30s.
Encyclopedia. ORG. Occident Revachol Grad.
There's a steadily increasing trickle of images. Between the big three scientific contributors, they're piecing together a dark grey corona.
A dark grey corona?
Yes. Pale covers 72% of the surface. There are grey flares and prominences, even arcs above entire isolas. The images are blurry, but if there was a sphere in there, it certainly looks like it fractured a long time ago.
Half-light. A cold fear seeps into you. Oh my god, wait. What the hell are you telling me?
You seem to be spooked. Please don't be.
Her voice becomes homely, calm. She lets a moment pass. The pale. And what do you mean, corona?
They say there is a rarefied envelope of matter surrounding the darkened disk of our planet. That is, if we are still living on a planet. Or, to speak more plainly, imagine vast swathes of land disrupted by nothingness. I am sorry, dear. It must sound quite terrifying through the acute encephalopathy. Even scientific positivism isn't entirely convinced about what we're dealing with here. But this is one of the greatest questions of our time. Maybe when they get the complete set together, it will jolt us out of our rut, bring us together, however naive it may sound.
A fractured corona doesn't feel like it's gonna bring anyone together.
You have misimagined it. I don't have the power to convey to you the effect and geometry of the images that depict our world from below low orbit. It's like the crowning of the world. It's insane. Very disco. You'd love it.
Well, if you say it's disco.
See? Everyone finds something worth holding on to in this world, however wasted its opportunities.
Shivers. The cold seeps into you. The air is heavy with 80% humidity. Inland Empire. Suddenly, you're conscious of yourself, standing there on whatever this all is. Your arms hang down by your sides. You said pale. What's pale?
The pale is not, technically speaking, part of reality.
Yes. Also, I think we've had enough excitement for today. We do have a case to attend to.
Of course, Lieutenant. Let's try something else.
I don't want to. I want to know what the pale is.
I don't think your colleague would appreciate that. He has already been so patient with this whole exercise. Let's continue with something else, all right? You can ask about anything else in the world. Anything.
Savoir-faire. You could sneak back later when the lieutenant is not here, unless you can convince him to step aside. Okay,
Glad
I have to pass this
the little that
skill check in order to continue the quest lines.
You're back. Good. More lessons
let's
in
see.
basic reality.
Ask
My
him
favourite
to
part of the
step
day.
aside
Go ahead.
while
Ask me
you
anything.
discuss the pale. No, is what you want to do, but should you... he expressly stated you shouldn't hear about it. What if it renders you mad or catatonic or makes you lose your memory again?
Yes?
I must know of the eldritch horrors.
You're back.
Please.
Good. More lessons in basic reality? You're back. Good.
You're
More
back,
lessons
yes,
in
I am
basic
back.
reality?
There. A good idea, just ask him. He won't make a scene. Kim, can I talk to the ma'am alone for a second?
Fine.
He steps away with his notes. Well, I should see what he can do. You're a grown man. Now, what's the pale?
Are you sure you're sure? Your colleague seemed adamant.
Yes. What is the pale?
Okay. The pale is the most dominant geological feature of the world, Detective. The separative tissue between the islas. It is the interinsulary mass.
Endurance. Your stomach grumbles approvingly. The reality, a rezone, is opening up before your very eyes. Wait, and what is an isola?
Isla is a Messinian word for a continent of matter, enveloped on all sides by the pale. Also, isolation, or landmass. We used to believe there was only one. In the last 4 centuries, we have discovered 7. Mundi, Seol, Samara, Ilmara, Grad, Katla, and this, Insulinde.
And Insulinde is...
An oceanic isla. It comprises mostly of water. Muindi is the largest, Katla the coldest, Insulinde the bluest. What can I say? Each is perishing and dear.
Okay, what's the pale like?
Achromatic, odorless, featureless. The pale is the enemy of matter and life. It is not like any other, or anything in the world. It is the transition state of being into nothingness.
I think there's like a prequel book to Disco Elysium that was written. The original's in French, but you can probably find like a English translated version of it called Terrible and Sacred Air. And it's about the pale, mostly. It's sort of like a fog that's just corroding the entire world and spreading. And eventually it will engulf the entire Earth and kill everyone. But slowly, over a long time. Is it here? Look around.
No, Detective. We're safe. It begins there, 6,000 kilometers to the north, and even more to the south, east, and west. You are in the middle of the Isla.
Yeah, it's the Silent Hill fog, slowly creeping in. Inland Empire. As your gaze instinctively turns north, a small black pit opens up in your stomach. 6,000 kilometers from the end of the world?
Yes. That is enough. Many cities are built much closer.
And point north there?
An uproar of matter, darling. Rising into the pale. Rolling. Evaporating even. A great vision. The area of transition between the world and the Pale is called porch collapse. Imagine a grey coronal mist, cold vapour marked by spores of an opportunistic microorganism, a mould that's adapted to grow at the edge of the unrest. It's the most disco thing you will ever see.
As you half-light, you hear your pulse rise. The air feels caustic and cold suddenly. What are its physical qualities?
It's difficult to describe, or even measure. Something whose fundamental property is the suspension of properties. Physical, epistemological, linguistic. The further into Pale you travel, the steeper the degree of suspension, right down to the mathematical. Numbers stop working. No one has yet passed the number barrier. It may be impossible.
If we're surrounded by Pale, how do we get from Isola to Isola?
Oh, it is so difficult for us.
Hearing. A squall of birds. Hardware operating in the harbor. Firm, self-evident.
It is possible to force dimensions on the Pale. In modern times, we can even compress its latitude, bouncing radio waves from one end to the other, shortening the path. But it is still hard for humans to navigate the Pale without getting lost, or having our minds damaged.
The Pale can damage the mind?
Extensively.
How?
Some say the damage stems from extreme sensory deprivation. Others argue that Pale somehow consists of past information that's degrading, that it's rarefied past, not rarefied matter. They call it the blend over of the self. The Pale does not only suspend the laws of physics, but also the laws of psychology, maybe history even. The human mind becomes over-radiated by past.
What does this over-radiation feel like?
It feels terrible. Absolutely terrible. International standards strictly limit civilian travelers to 6 days of Pale exposure per year.
Logic. It's more for her. Way more. You're not a civilian passenger.
No, Lieutenant Dubois. I'm entreprenetic business class. I'm cleared and trained for 22 days of Pale transit annually.
Yeah, that's a pyramid triangle. Empathy. Perhaps that explains her strange pining after the revolution. Some degraded early memories. Logic. Someone else you've met may have been exposed as well. The strange gray-haired woman in her lorry. Do lorry drivers pass the Pale?
Yes. Carried in the hulls of airships. It's a horrific job. Automation will abolish it soon.
Reaction speed. You should ask the Pale driver about this. See what she says. Inland Empire. That poor woman must have stories to tell like you wouldn't imagine. Are you over-radiated?
Up to my gills, officer.
Endurance. An acidic smile on her lips. It's getting worse every year. What is, entreprenetic?
Entreprenetics is the scientific study of the Pale, or a recent iteration of it by way of grad. The study of the Pale reaches back 6,000 years. The Pericarnassians called it the Western Plain.
Did they cross it? The Western Plain?
There are signs of pre-modern crossings. Successful navigation of the Pale relies not just on technical know-how, but intensive psychological preparation. Some of these tactics have been known for thousands of years.
What has entreprenetics changed then?
Nothing. We remain powerless before the Pale. The only real advance in Pale transit is the speed with which an aerostatic craft can pierce it. Less exposure leads to less effects later.
Aerostatic craft?
Hybrid airships, Detective. Conventional rotors or jet engines no longer add velocity after the point of reference for motion is suspended, once you've crossed from near pale to far pale. In essence, we throw them in and they come out the other end, if we throw them precisely.
If we do not?
Then they don't.
Visual calculus, gone. Like a skipping stone beneath the surface. How much pale is there compared to the world?
The pale outweighs reality 2 to 1. There is more pale than there is matter, and the ratio is slipping.
Slipping how? To our detriment, or...?
What do you think, Detective?
She looks at you in the eye. It's shrinking. There's more and more of the world. It's growing. There's more and more of the pale.
Precisely. One of the few measurable effects of the pale is that it is expanding at an unknown rate. An intuitive conclusion of that development is that one day the pale will cover everything. But this sort of talk is mostly left to extremists.
It's not extreme at all. I know it's going to happen. Cover everything? That can't be. Where would we go?
Most people, and indeed most private and government sector organizations, entire civilizations and religions even, find handy ways to ignore or downplay that knowledge. I suggest you do the same.
Inland Empire. Off we go. You see the hanged man's mouth open. Off we go into the wild pale yonder.
One and all. They say pale is death, but for the universe.
Inland Empire. Why should we have to leave? And leave, and the world gets left behind. Let's return to reality.
Sweet reality. But before we do, tell me, Detective.
All right there, Knight. You have a good night.
Is this the first time you're hearing this? Do you really not remember anything?
Nothing, just alcohol, fumes, and blackout. I sometimes sense vague shadows of a past, and it's not good. I'm getting a sense of who I am, but no, I don't know this.
Then tell me, what do you think of the Pale?
It's terrifying. You were right. It's disco. It will end all life. That we continue to persist at all is a testament to our faith in one another. Its advance can only be stopped with immediate, total, ruthless communism. A powerful anti-communist force, perhaps too powerful, but still, they have it coming. I'm worried, I have to say. It doesn't sound very liberal to me. I don't know how you all survived with it. It's a huge accomplishment. Who am I to think anything of it? A powerful anti-communist, they have it coming. Her eyes tense, crow's feet radiate from them, as she observes you, your bloodshot eyes and swollen face. Endurance. Your ailing constitution, sweaty forehead, and beads. The beads, there, and your heavy breathing.
You really didn't know. This does not spell good for the investigation, Detective. If you don't know even this, then...
She stops mid-sentence. I'll handle it. It's under control. This investigation will be my masterpiece. The one they remember me by, I promise. Yes, I'm in serious trouble here. It'll be a fucking disaster. I know it. All these people will die. I got it.
I hope so. I truly do. If I may suggest, hold on to your colleague, Kitsuragi. I ran a check on him and he is very competent. In the meanwhile,
Empathy. Some of that assurance is meant for herself, such as it's meant for as much as it's meant for you, as she must have a lot on the line
You
here.
have me. I will assist you in any way I can, even if we have to do it one basic term at a time.
As she gives you a slight bow.
Good. You have not passed out from it. Perhaps I worried for nothing. Are we still on the reality lowdown, or should we do actual police work now?
You needn't have worried. That was fucking insane, Kim. Alright, let's get to work, Lieutenant. Some more reality lowdowns before we go.
Yes, well, the rest of us have dealt with it for thousands of years, so...
He looks around a little uncomfortable now. Esprit de corps. You will have to deal with it too, the lieutenant thinks. This is why I didn't want you to know. Right, let's go to work, Lieutenant.
Good luck, detectives.
She nods to you goodbye. Let's see, I got another level, let's see. Okay, that's 5 in that. Maybe another endurance. It's only 4. We get all of these to at least 5. Sure. Let's see. What do I gotta do now? Still gotta find Ruby in the bunker. Find the Insulindian Phasmid. Oh, I have to do that investigation. Let's see. Oh, I gotta take the bird. I'm gonna guard the bird now. Why not?
Can I help you?
Guard, I found a new bird for the whirling. Give him the ruffled grouse.
What is this thing?
The man takes the stuffed bird. It's no biggie. I just thought it would look nice on the wall. I'm that kind of cop. This is a stuffed grouse. It symbolizes the might of male courtship rituals. May it serve as a reminder to keep an eye on the cock carousellers.
Cool. Okay. I was really hoping not to think about the cock carousel any longer because it made me feel like shit. But this is a competent piece of taxidermy. I can fix it to the plaque and have a new bird in the establishment, I guess. So, I don't know. Thank you.
Empathy. People just don't know how to accept gifts, especially taxidermy. He likes it. He likes the bird. It solves his broken bird problem. Endurance. This was mostly about the fucking cardio. Massive cardio here. You'll live till 90, or you'll get a heart attack from running.
I feel good about our work here today. It's all about the little things, like bringing people random stuffed animals.
Goodbye. Let's see. You have anything else to say?
Hello, dear.
Oh yeah, I restocked
Good to see a familiar face.
I restocked the empty trap. Where's Moral?
Thank you for doing that, dear.
As she manages a smile. Empathy. Her smile is weary. Her earlier, ebullience has left her.
Morel still isn't feeling well. I convinced him to stay at Gary's to get some rest. I'm afraid the cold has really gotten to him.
Only the hardcore players left, huh? It's probably for the best. It's awfully cold out there in the reeds. He gives up and I'm running around.
I'm sorry, dear. You've had to drudge through them so many times. Such is field work. A young person's game, as they say.
Who's going to check the traps?
Morel will eventually, or we'll talk Gary into going back out, perhaps.
The lieutenant stares at his shoe, caked in mud. He doesn't say anything. Something tells me it's up to me again. We'll take care of it. Take it on. Once more into the breach then. Take it on with undue optimism. Good luck with that. My bug-catching days are done.
That really is too much, sweetie. Thank you for your dedication, but I can see you're coming down with a cough yourself.
Endurance. Fuck that cough. It's not happening. The insides of your lungs are lined with tobacco, a powerful antibacterial agent. You are unstoppable. Volition. Very strange. Why is she not letting you do this? It's like she's given up. Lena, what's wrong? You seem different.
Different? How?
The half-moons of her glasses reflect you as she looks up at you. You've given up on the phasmid. You're not telling me the whole story.
I'm not. It's not that.
She doesn't know how to end the sentence. What is it?
It's, a strange feeling. I haven't really told this to anyone, but you are a police officer. Do you ever wonder if some lovely story from your childhood is just that? A story? Or a dream? Seeing the Insulindian phasmid was just a story I used to tell people. I didn't really think about whether it was real or not.
But Morrow told me that you'd seen it. You also told me.
Morell's so proud of it. He always tells everyone.
Empathy. A terrible sting in the heart. Regret. Are you saying you made it up? You seemed to really believe it happened. Doesn't that count for something? So you hadn't seen it. I should arrest you for lying.
No, sweetie. There's more to it than that. Morell was so eager to believe my story was evidence of the phasmid's existence. That I'm some queen of the cryptozoologists. That. And for years, his belief made me believe too.
Suggestion. That I'm a queen. An extraordinary witness to grace.
But now, we're both getting old, and he's still working himself sick out in those reeds looking for it. But what if I was just wrong?
She shakes her head.
I think I was.
She shakes her head, still unable to meet your eyes. Let's see, the lieutenant opens his notebook, but doesn't write anything. Let's see, suggestion. First, tell her that her marriage hasn't been a lie. An acorn is not the same as the tree. That requires time, diligence, and care. And I need something good here. Wrong or not, your relationship with Moral isn't just about the phasmid. All qualities these two seem to share in abundance. Wrong or not, your relationship with Moral isn't just about the phasmid.
But it is. We've spent years searching for the phasmid, hunting it together. Without it, what are we? Just another pathetic old couple. If I hadn't led him down this path, he could have a steady job lecturing at a university.
Moral hated lecturing. You convinced him to do something real in this world. Normally, when I think about stuff like women and marriage, I feel bad. When I think about you and Moral, I feel okay. That counts for something, no?
Oh, of course it counts for something. But we've had our hard times, too.
She looks down at her legs.
I was a paraplegic before we met. He didn't know before I arrived. On our first date. If I weren't the queen of the cryptozoologists, if I didn't tell him that story...
Composure. She has to swallow to relax her throat. It's keeping her from talking. Still, he'd still be into you. That's not how these things work. Now I understand why you haven't told him about your doubts. Wow, love is hard. Say nothing.
Maybe. But then why do I not dare tell him? I've wasted enough of your time with this drama. I really must stop talking about it lest I start crying and waste more of your time. What you have to know is the Insulindian phasmid probably does not exist. Let us fools chase our ghosts. There are a million better things to do with your life.
Conceptualization. Are there? Some of the other things are pretty bad. To hell with this. I still believe you. You saw the phasmid. The thing is, you're not sure you made it up either. Okay, it's a false memory. Doesn't mean all cryptids aren't real. Choose another one. You're right about all of it. And I need to get back to my work.
A true believer. Sometimes I still see it too. The real memory of it. How it was there. Not the memory of the memory, but it's so hard to tell the two apart.
Inland Empire. Rising, unfolding from the reeds on a hot summer day, like a benevolent god.
Either way, I should go. Poor Morel is running a fever, and I need to get him home to Jamrock before we overstay our welcome with Gary.
Are you sure you, don't need help, getting to Gary's?
Oh no, thank you, but I can get there on my own. This old thing is gas-powered. And then a taxi home. It's not so bad.
You do that. I'll check the traps one more time.
Really?
Oh, sweetie. Please don't get stuck on a dream. Take it from me and Morel.
Can I have your address just in case there's news?
Okay. It's 1113 Tabernacle Road. Jamrock, but...
Empathy. A sigh. She doesn't think you'll need it. Be careful out there, Lena. It's been a pleasure, ma'am. The rest of it is pretty grim. Thanks for bringing some light.
You're welcome, sweetie. I'm glad it helped you, even though it turned out to be a...
The sentence remains unfinished. Inland Empire. A dream. Hearing. A fool's hope. Say her lips moving in silence. Like that, she drives off. The gas engine putters quietly. As she gets to the doors and then pushes them open. Outside, the cold coastal wind blows.
We should go too.
Shivers. Somewhere out there, a kilometer to the southeast, a gust of wind shakes the felled building, rattling dusty windows, beckoning with strange coldness to ask the wind once more. A few locusts trudge along the wall of the trap. The rest are piled in a heap in the corner, dead. No phasmid anywhere. Empathy. Poor things. Let's see. Determine where the shot came from. Oh, check the boardwalk. Check island for bullet traces. Wait, where is that exactly? Oh, that's the island. Okay, no, I know that. Okay, no, I can't do that yet. I can do the boardwalk now, though. Might as well. Oh wait, it's not here. It's this way? How do I get over there? I don't remember. No, I think I go this way and then up here? Yeah, okay. Moonshine probably smells like tasty fermentation. Careful there. These floorboards look rotten and weak. Well, I should probably, smoke a cigarette, I guess. Let's see. Pretty sure this requires, mind or something, whatever. Wait, let's look at this first. Let's see. The coin-operated viewer has been out of order for years. Stop messing with the coin viewer and hold on to something. The wind is strong. Here, let's see. Working class corpse. A man lies on the boardwalk, his limbs bent and neck turned at an unnatural angle. Right next to him is an empty bottle of spirits. In his cramped hand, a chewing gum wrapper. Physical instrument. Half of his body has slipped between the cracked boardwalk, starting with the right leg. The fall has left him broken, contorted like a sad puppet. Smell. The smell is not as bad as a 2-week-old corpse, but it's definitely heading there.
Hold on.
The lieutenant squats next to the corpse and examines his face. 2 bulging eyes stare back at him, void of any sign of life.
Lividity is faintly pronounced. Whoever this is has been dead for 2 days. No longer. We need to investigate.
He stands up and shivers as a gust of wind blows through his bomber jacket. Authority. Another dead body. This is your job. Steel yourself. Composure. Calm now. Carefully. Just another day. Just another dead body. Breathe. Study the man's clothes. He's wearing mud-caked boots, beige trousers, and an old brown leather jacket with a bright blue lining. There are traces of kebab sauce on his chest. Logic. A cool leather jacket with a bolt of blue? Oh no, this sounds terribly familiar. Search his pockets. Folded library card. You find some sunflower seeds and a rain-soaked library card, folded into 2. His jacket feels sodden and heavy under your hand.
Good. We should take a look at that library card after this is done.
Study the man himself. The man has fallen through the crack in the boardwalk and hit his head against the metal bench. Coagulated blood covers his black hair. One of his feet is still dangling through the hole. Electrochemistry. You have to be quite inebriated to fall that bad. Well over a liter of pure ethanol, 3 bottles of wine, or 1.5 spirits. Savoir-faire. When damp, these boards are really slippery. Even a sober man could lose their balance here. Examine the fence. Oh, examine the face. His expression is dull like the sea behind him. Drops of water shining on his mustache. His eyes empty and wide. Look frightened in their frozen gaze. Visual calculus. Height 170 to 175 centimeters. Curly hair. Stout build. Age approximately 50 to 60 years. Inland Empire. He was just about to head home. The first step back home proved to be his last. Study the surroundings. There's some dried blood on the metal bench, right where the corpse's head rests. The floorboards are rotten and slippery, wet around the hole. An empty bottle lies nearby. A chewing gum wrapper is clutched in his fist. Savoir-faire. Be very, very careful when you step here. Examine the man's head. A dried chunk of blood covers the hair at the back of his head, an open wound. It's sticky and cold to your touch. Inland Empire. This is where he came out of himself, drop by drop. When he was unconscious. It took 3, maybe 4 minutes.
I don't see any other major wounds, do you?
It's hard to say.
Seems like the head wound was fatal. It's exactly the shape of the bench.
Step on the floorboards. They screech under your feet ominously. It's hard to say whether the dead man's weight was what caused the boardwalk to break. It definitely looks fragile. Perception. You see waves churning below. Something cracks beneath your feet. Visual calculus. He could have easily disappeared into the sea through that hole, and you would have never found him. Examine the bottle. A 0.75 liter Trulula vodka with its cap missing. There's hardly anything left inside. Electrochemistry. It's mid-market spirits, with a slight touch of menthol. The man meant to enjoy himself, have a good time.
Tear all around us.
Examine the chewing gum wrapper. Rabowski Spearmint Chewing Gum. Green leaves on the cover. The man's mouth is half agape from the terror of the fall. Look in. The blackness of death. Stench. You think you see white chewing gum too. Sight. Confirmed. Nearly a whole pack in there, solidified on his lower rear teeth.
He ate the whole pack, right? It's to cover the smell of alcohol before going home. The worst thing is, I've seen it before. Almost the same scenario. Even the chewing gum. It's always the same.
Step back. Who is this man?
Looks like one of the locals. He'd have to know this spot to come here. You don't just walk over here.
He looks south, the way you came.
But that's just a lazy assumption. What do you think?
A logic. A dead working class man with a bottle in his hand. Don't deceive yourself. You know who this is. We know who this is. It's the working class woman's missing husband, dead on the boardwalk.
The woman you met at the book stand? Why do you think it's her husband?
He looks at the bundle of flesh and rags laying on the ground. The leather jacket. Point to the man's clothes. It matches her description perfectly.
The bright blue lining? Well, he's definitely someone's husband.
He nods, then points to the ring on the man's left hand. What do you think happened here?
Death by misadventure. He slipped and fell through the boardwalk. A truly unfortunate accident. If it wouldn't have been for that bench, he'd be alive.
Could it be related to the lynching, Ruby? Do you think he was drunk?
No, I don't see anything that points in that direction. For now, let's treat this case as a simple, albeit sad, accident, unrelated to the murder case.
Half-Light. Yes, but what if there is a killer on the loose? 2 suspicious deaths in such a short time frame. We should consider the possibility that we're dealing with a sequence killer here.
A sequence killer? There's nothing that connects those 2 bodies. This is a completely different case. An accident.
Inland Empire. What if all of this is staged? You could have seen something that night in the yard. What if he witnessed something? All of this could be staged. We don't know the exact cause of death. Someone could have pushed him from behind with an intention to kill. I'm just saying that we should be open to all possibilities.
It's possible, but let's take it step by step. We still haven't identified the man.
Do you think he was drunk? Point to the bottle.
Oh, yes.
What about alcohol poisoning and liver failure?
Some symptoms of acute alcohol poisoning could have definitely played a role here. Severe confusion, respiratory depression, unpredictable behavior. But I think that death arrived through head trauma, not liver failure.
What about the kebab?
What about it? The deceased ate some kebab. It's probably from a nearby place, maybe in the Pox.
Someone should be held responsible for this broken boardwalk. It's dangerous.
They'll seal this place off after the news reaches the coalition officials. I doubt that they have enough resources to actually repair the boardwalk. Not that sealing it off would keep anyone away. All it does is keep the city council's hands clean.
He smiles sourly.
It does seem to be a pretty straightforward misadventure, although there's still a question of identifying the body.
What should we do with it?
From where I stand, I can see 2 options. We either take the case and follow the leads to identify the body on our own, or we report back to the station and leave this for our colleagues to handle.
Hold on, what about field autopsy?
A field autopsy isn't necessary if the cause of death doesn't appear to be criminal, and this looks like a simple accident to me. I'd say we should just write down head trauma and leave it at that. Let's keep this detour as short as possible. The sooner we get back to finding Ruby, the better.
Yes, but isn't that kind of sloppy? You're right, I don't see anything criminal here. Let's leave it at that.
Maybe, but we don't really have much time or resources to spare. The guys at processing will take care of the rest.
We found him. We should finish this. Take the case. Let's leave this case for the station. I don't want to spend time on it. Don't take the case. I still need some time to decide how I want to solve this case. Return to this later. Take the case.
We should first examine the library card you found. Then we can call the station from my kinema. Let them know we are taking the case.
Let's see, trash can. There's some tear, an empty cigarette package, and a crumpled kebab wrapper in the trash bin. Examine the tear. 2 empty bottles of Tallulah vodka and a can of black potent porter is all you find. sight. No, there's more in there. A Livis strawberry liqueur. Plus some Pilsner bottles too. Better not pick them up. They seem unhygienic.
A tragedy.
The lieutenant looks in the can, eyes watering from the smell. Empathy. He shakes his head with genuine sadness. Examine the cigarette package. Whoever tossed it here was a heavy smoker. The brand name reads Red Astra. Electrochemistry. Now this makes partying look bad. Still, don't let it sway you. You're responsible. Examine the kebab wrapper. You see traces of mayonnaise and ketchup on it, as well as a tomato wedge. The wrapper reads Shish Kebab Revishal. Visual calculus. It's no older than a day or two. No mold yet. Smell. It's hard to concentrate on the smell. The sea air brings some relief. A folded library card. A library card found in the pocket of the dead man on the Martinez boardwalk. It's still slightly damp to the touch. The cover bears the stamp of Jamrock Public Library. The library card is folded into two and still slightly wet to the touch. The front of the card reads Central Jamrock Public Library card, issued to Billy Magine. Expires July 53. Look inside. Whoever owns this card is an avid reader. You find a list of books written in blue pencil. Radio thriller. Stand a little less between me and the sun. The last one on the list is The Glinting Curve by M. Thibault. A library stamp indicates that the book has been returned. Conceptualization. Most of these titles seem to be in the sci-fi genre. Some thrillers too. Look at the backside. If lost, please return the card to the library. Dial that number or visit us at the Moreau Street, 78 Jamrock. Business hours 9 to 18. Oh damn it! I just missed it. I'll
We
have to
should
do it
give them a
tomorrow.
call from my kinema. See if we can learn anything about Billy Méjean.
Reaction speed, good idea. There was plenty of information here to go by. Well, I'll have to call into the station the next day. Alright, let's see. Okay, I'll call into the station thing now, but I can't call the library until tomorrow morning. There it is.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Okay, maybe.
I'm afraid they're closed.
We should try again during...
Anything else,
Okay.
Detective?
I need to report a dead body on the Martinez boardwalk.
One moment.
You can hear her shuffling through some
Can you
papers.
please describe the body? Age, sex, cause of death?
An unidentified middle-aged man, height 170 to 175 centimeters, dark hair, medium build, looks like he fell through a hole in the boardwalk and hit his head against a metal bench.
We suspect he might have been inebriated when he fell. There were bottles all around him. and traces of vomit on his shirt.
Any signs of violence?
No, seems like it was an accident. There might be a sequence killer on the loose. No.
No field autopsy necessary.
She repeats. Hearing. You can hear her quickly typing in the background.
What about his belongings? Did you examine his clothes?
He was wearing boots, trousers, and an old leather jacket with a bright blue lining. I found a library card in his pockets.
Any information on the library card?
It's from Central Jamrock Public Library. It belongs to someone named Billy Magine.
Good. You have a lead. Do you and Lieutenant Kitsuragi want to take the case, or should I assign it to someone else?
We're taking the case.
I have assigned the case to Lieutenant Kim Kitsuragi. Please follow up on this library lead to identify the man. We'll send someone to take the body to the morgue. That's all for now. Thank you for reporting in. Is there anything else I can do for you?
See, I'm done with the radio for now.
57th, over and out.
There we go. I think I can talk to the Pale driver. To talk about, well, the Pale. Some speed, hell yeah. As you snap your fingers in front of her face.
Huh? What is it? What do you want?
I think I know what's going on with you.
And what is that?
You're a Pale driver. You transport goods through the Pale.
Great. He asked the Pines rep about the Pale, and now he's talking to everyone about it. Fine then. Just try not to black out again, and don't contemplate. We don't have time for that.
Oh, I'm contemplating, Kim. I'm drawing existential conclusions from this. Yeah, no, just for detective work. That's all it's needed for now. Everything is related to the Pale. My condition, the case, everything. It's all entrepreneuric.
Exactly what I didn't want you to do. Ma'am, my partner wanted to know if you work in Pale transport.
No offense. But your partner?
She lights a cigarette. A white and silver cloud of smoke disappears into her mouth.
Seems like a bit of an idiot.
As she breathes out, the air tastes sweet. Smell. Republica, a filterless cigarette from Mesk. Republica, smell the air. That's not very healthy.
Neither is Pale transportation. Life is transitory.
She shrugs. I blacked out after a night of heavy drinking and I lost all memory of the world. I blacked out from sheer heartbreak and lost all memory of the world. I'm not an idiot. I'm a detective of the RCM. Don't say I'm an idiot.
Like Gabriel Buenguerro in Pergunte a Poeira. You're the opposite of me, then. I remember everything. Even things I never knew.
Things you never knew.
The smell of liquor on Gabriel's lips after the shoot. In the motor park. The roses on the day of Franco Negro's coronation. On the grand stairs of Ryle. The smoke from the Fowling piece when Dolores Day was shot. The look on her face, like an orgasm. The wound in her chest. My hand in my father's hand. Except I never had a father, and I never shot her innocent Dolores Day.
Over radiation. Over radiation. Isn't that dangerous?
Heroic doses, Hervé. Heroic. Thought insertion? Dithering? The Grad Catalan Magistral? It's more than dangerous. It's sad. But at first I had to make a living. Now, when you've seen it all go away like that, rolling off like the sea, and then come back to this?
As she gestures at the square, the broken horse monument, the clanging of machines in the distance.
What are we doing here? For thousands of years, Gabriel. It doesn't have to be like this. We can just give up. We can just become a vapor.
What does it look like? The Pale.
Like looking into the ocean at night, in the dark.
And?
You cannot see it, but you know it's there. And it's big, bigger than anything. Bigger than all the other things combined.
What does it feel like?
Nothing. Until it starts. When you are deep enough. Then, for me, it's like autumn. Dark, gray, and orange. The orange of street lights and the color of streets in the electric light. It smells like autumn too. It smells terrible.
Empathy, nostalgia, cooped up in the cabin, shaking, terrible nostalgia. For yourself, for humans. It's too much to bear. She loves it. How do you pass through it?
In the belly of an airship, behind the stair windows. So you don't look straight into it. It's not advised to look into it.
And not on this lorry then?
No, the same one, a roller. They all are nowadays. Special wheels for connecting to the floor of the hold.
She points to the machines, clumped up like toys. Interfacing, their wheels all small and round, multi-axle trailers. One last thing, you said we can just become vapor?
Yes.
I would rather have what I have than what you have. I would rather have what you have than what I have. I feel I already have what you have in some way.
They say there is a point. One that I have not crossed. In the Pale, super deep. If you stray too far, of course, on the U41A, or in Lomonosov's land, where every step you take is one step further from home, no matter the direction. It's a point you cannot come back from. Your mind becomes so radiant with the past, there is a flip. Instead of writing, it erases memory, nearing some kind of indescribable finale.
She shakes her head.
Maybe you've been down the motorway south?
As she looks at her cigarette, it's almost out. She has swallowed it hungrily, then at you. The motorway south?
It's a story as lone horsemen tell. Lone horsemen, Sheriff, not Pale drivers. Way beyond the established Pale that's lit by radio frequencies, where it goes silent and dark, and the process begins, erasure, kilometer by kilometer, in any direction. The motorway south is a road you cannot come back from.
Conceptualization. In the center of this town, there's a ghostly motorway, she sang. It takes all the people where they want to stay. What's in the south end of the motorway?
They say I've been away on a kind of holiday.
She replies silently. What's at the end of the motorway south?
No one knows what's at the end. I've only glimpsed the beginning. I've only felt it in the distance, when I was a child. A child rowing on the lake.
Ma'am?
Josiana.
A sigh escapes her lips, then silence as she stares within herself. Empathy. There is nothing more to do now. She's far away. Conceptualization. She is receding in the clutches of some indescribable, scattered emotion. A child descending.
You've fried both your brains enough for today, Detective.
He inspects her, no response.
Let's get some air. This one's far gone.
He shakes his head silently and turns to leave. Alright, well, I think that's a good spot to end it for tonight. I'll continue the seaman retention quest line tomorrow. Alright. Well, thank you all very much for watching.